Okay, this was on Reddit, but it's all over X, everything. Distillation attacks. Leo, what's a distillation attack, and why is that a bad thing or a good thing? Why are we seeing
closed labs closely guard their secrets. And one of the main secrets they try and guard are the reasoning traces of their models that explain, how the model's internal modeling and problem-solving process works. So not just the output, but specifically the reasoning traces. But in general, distillation, for those that are not familiar, is the process of taking a large model with a lot of knowledge and maybe a lot of intelligence, which are different things, and then creating pairs of inputs and outputs. Like, you ask it a question and you get an answer. And then you feed those pairs of questions and answers to a smaller student model to learn from that. And that's how when DeepSeek released their original R1 giant model, they released a bunch of smaller models. They were not DeepSeek models. They were small Qwen models and small Llama models that were distilled from R1. So you could get some of the knowledge of R1 and some of the kind of intelligence of R1 taught directly to these smaller models, which made the smaller models way more powerful. And I think it's an amazing technique. It's an amazing field. Distillation is powerful. It's what gives small models that run on local hardware a lot more power. So closed labs don't want the competition to do that, right? Open labs help you do it. There's a huge difference there. And so they're very secretive about it. And this is why, like in OpenAI, in ChatGPT, they don't show you the full reasoning traces of the model. They show what they call reasoning summaries. And they've even started to reformat them. In some cases, they move them away from a persisted sidebar into just something that is ephemeral, because these things can be used by other competitors to kind of distill and train their models on that. So what Anthropic is saying is, oh my God, these labs are creating massive accounts and sending us a bunch of queries and training on our outputs. And it definitely was not a good look for them, but they got a lot of critique from that because Anthropic has been fined billions of dollars for the copyright infringement that they've done. And they've trained on unlicensed data, on unauthorized data. They train on whatever they want. They don't care that they're breaking the law. They'll do it anyway. And so now they're complaining that other people are training on something that they're not supposed to because they have, and it's not even a law, it's their terms of service, right? A terms of service is not a criminal thing. It's just like, if you want to use our product, this is our terms of service for you to use it, right? So they're like, boo-hoo, you're breaking our terms of service. What can we do? We'll ban your account. But they're creating thousands or hundreds of thousands of accounts, tens of thousands of accounts, they're saying this is terrible. Another interesting critique on this by William Brown, he's a Prime Intellect guy, which is incredible US lab. They're the ones that helped RC make Trinity, and they're involved with distributed reinforcement learning environments. Will Brown says, hey, what about GitHub? GitHub is dominated by Claude outputs. Are you saying we can't train on that because they're Claude outputs? You've got people that use Claude and they'll make public repos, and that's not against the terms of service. And then you've got other people that, contractually, you could say they don't have a relationship with Anthropic, but they're training on GitHub, so they're indirectly training on the Claude outputs. And it's kind of hard to say, we forbid the world to train on it. We will train on the world, but we forbid the world to train on us.
So spiky point of view on this. I think that this is all going to, at some point, we're just not going to hear about this anymore because everyone's going to be doing it to everyone else. Right. Yeah. And the way I like to think of distillation, it's like, when you're in a college class and the professor is kind of very philosophical and it's very complicated and clearly they have a very big understanding of the general field of whatever you're in. Then you go to the TA and they're like, okay, here's how to solve this kind of problem. You do this, this, this. And that TA is kind of put in the work to extract that from the college professor. But if you're offering a college professor as a service, keep asking questions until you have a refined understanding. I think we're going to hear absolutely nothing about distillation in a year because there's nothing you can do about it. And it's at the end of the day, if they paid for those tokens, what are you going to do?
I mean, that's a major point of contention with Anthropic in general. Is people
That's good.
People want to use the tokens that they pay for, however they want to.
Got it. Awesome. All right. Let's do the next story. I like this one. I drank too much. I was overserved. I was the victim of a distillation attack. Yeah, people are distillations. Oh, people are using my stuff and learning from it. Big deal. What did you think about that clip? I hope it was useful. Check out the link in the description for the full episode. And we have new episodes coming out every single week, sometimes several times a week, about the latest AI news. We're doing a deep dive into OpenClaw soon. Check out our Substack. Follow us on all the different social media programs. Ask us questions. And check out our Discord, where we have lots of good AI chat discussions. Links are all in the description. See you next time.